So today we're going to talk about Ryan Montgomery. Ryan Montgomery is a computer hacker who hacked into a website that was full of child predators and tried to do something about it. And I want you to hear in his own words how that went. There is a 2.5-hour video on YouTube. It's called The Sean Ryan Show, in which he interviews Ryan Montgomery and he goes into detail about the things he discovered and the things he learned. It's extremely graphic. I'm not really here to talk about the specifics. I just want you to hear with your own ears what happened when this man went to the media and went to law enforcement to try to get something done about these child predators.
What did you do with this information?
So as soon as I got the information, I thought it was slam dunk. I thought like these people were going to jail. You know, I thought that maybe I solved something that the FBI or somebody was, working on for a long time.
He actually thought the FBI was already investigating this. How naive of this man. He's still a great human being, but that's still naive because the FBI has proven themselves to be nothing but useless. What's really crazy to me is how this random hacker who doesn't have any connection to law enforcement can infiltrate this website, download all this information, extrapolate all the data, and pinpoint and figure out who's doing what and who's involved, and yet the FBI doesn't have a clue that it's going on. 7,000 predators on this website alone, and the FBI is clueless that it's even happening, and it's all happening on the regular internet. This isn't like it was on the dark web. It's on the regular internet, and the FBI clueless. Makes you wonder, are they even looking for these things? Because we certainly know they aren't looking for any of Jeffrey Epstein's clients, not even for the list that has all their names on it. And maybe the next segment of this video will give us a little bit more insight into why.
And I instantly went to the exploited children tip line, and I submitted, saying who the owner of the website was, that I had access to all the data, and that they were welcome to have it, basically. Then I reached out to a bunch of news stations, and talked to a ton of reporters, and all of them were super excited to talk to me.
What news stations?
Sun Sentinel, Daily Mail, Business Insider, Fox, some influencers, Ronan Farrow, Candace Owens, they both didn't read my messages. But as for the news stations, I had full conversations with the reporters. They knew what they were getting themselves into. They were very excited about reporting on it. And once it got back from legal, they weren't allowed to report on it. And I said, well, okay, if you're not allowed to report on the illegally obtained material that I have, just let parents know that this website exists and whatever you want, but just keep whatever illegal out of it. I just want parents to know that this website exists. You don't need to put my name. You don't need to put the material that I obtained, nothing. Every single one of them completely disregarded me. I sent a lot of those notes over to Project Veritas with some evidence of that. But not a single person until now has done anything about this.
Not any conservative media, not any liberal media, because unfortunately that's the day and age we live in now, right? None of them would touch this.
No.
None of them want to be involved in saving kids.
When I say I tried so hard, and nobody wanted to do anything.
So what do you know? Not a single media outlet was willing to touch this information. Incredible. Even the reporters who were enthusiastically ready to report on it, as soon as they sent it up, came back from legal. No, we cannot report on this. Nobody on the left, nobody on the right. It's pretty interesting to me. What about law enforcement?
Law enforcement didn't want to get involved either.
No, so I called my attorney locally, and then I called an attorney in Virginia because the owner of the website happened to be a Democratic politician and ran for Congress 2 times. His name is Nathan Larson, and I'll explain more about him in a second. But I talked to a lawyer in Virginia because I knew that's where he lived, and I wanted to see what I could do from there. So the lawyer in Virginia basically told me she didn't know what to say. She never heard of anything like this. The lawyer in Florida reached out to the local task force, let them know that I had access to the information. and then as well as, doing that tip line. So from that point on, all of these news stations and all the law enforcement connections, whatever you want to call them, they all were fully aware that Nathan Larson was running this website, that he was, he ran for Congress twice, that he was an extremist, he did crazy things, but he did run for Congress 2 different times in Virginia. So I thought that they would take that seriously. Well, completely ignored.
Law enforcement, mainstream media, nobody cared. Nobody cared to take this man's information and do something about it. We come to find out that the website is run by a politician, Nathan Larson, who, by the way, was arrested at the Denver International Airport for kidnapping a 12-year-old girl. Politician running a website full of child predators? Who knew? And yet nobody on the left, nobody on the right decided to run with this information. Law enforcement decided to do absolutely nothing. In a society where the FBI and the CIA supposedly have the technology to stop terrorism before it even happens. In a society where you can have a conversation with one of your friends about some item, and the next time you open up your phone and scroll through any social media website, that exact item will be advertised to you. In a society where supposedly every square inch of the earth is under satellite surveillance. And since 9/11, we had the introduction of the Patriot Act, which means they can listen to all of our phone calls, and yet somehow in this total surveillance state, these predators and these websites go unmolested by any type of authority. It's almost like these predators are protected by some unseen force. I wonder, could this be the reason that the Epstein list has never been revealed? And let's face it, probably never will be. Could this be the reason why people like Jeffrey Epstein end up committing suicide while they're in jail? How is it even possible for these things to happen and go unnoticed by authority and by media, unless it's being ignored on purpose? Or maybe it's because people at the highest levels of government and media are directly involved with this stuff themselves.